We finally got a fucking win. Finally, we get a win. Pedrin. Hey, Pedrin. You there?
Yes, Sirski.
I'm going to let you fire it off because this means a lot to you. So, Pedrin, I'm going to give you the floor. I'm going to let you start with the opening comments. This is all about you, Pedrin, because you've been fighting for your fucking life, bro. You've been fighting for your life.
Hey, well, I just feels like I just gotta explain like my fandom, which is very, very like, which is it might sound crazy in a night like tonight, but like I'm a Golden State Warrior fan first and foremost, and the guy who got me into basketball was Stephen Curry, right? When I fell in love with the Warriors in 2011, not only I love the way that they play, but I love the fact that the whole dynasty was built up on drafting players, right? Like we drafted Steph, we drafted Clay, we drafted Draymond, Harrison Barnes came up, Looney, then Poole, then the JKs, the Moody's, the Paz, the TJDs, right? And to me, I always love that because, like me living in Europe and following football, soccer, I see like teams like Real Madrid or Barcelona who like develop their talents. In this case, NBA case would be like drafting, and then like they just become role players or stars in the team. So I always supported every single young player or draft pick that comes to the Warriors, right?
Mhm.
Obviously, we are in a dynasty, and in the last 5 years, we have been quite irregular. But I also feel that the front office didn't make the right choices, especially with the Wiseman pick. And what I starting to see from that point was that in the in the in the dichotomy of like not knowing what to do, go all in on Steph or develop young players who can hopefully give continuity to Steph.
Yeah.
I started to see that, you know, like that the younger players that were coming into the team were treated unfairly. And why I say unfairly? Because I just feel like players, especially like obviously we already know the Jordan Poole case. We're not gonna talk about it right now because it's a win night.
Hmm.
But players like Moody and JK, especially from the minute they were drafted, but especially in year 2 and 3, they never get the chance to. I'm not even saying to be status because that's far fetched, especially as a sophomore year
Yeah.
or as a junior, but at least know their roles and get continuity, right? And I just feel like as the team was crumbling, first Jordan Poole left, then Clay left. Now, like, we are in a similar situation for nearly a 3 year, third year in a row. I just feel like certain players weren't playing up to level, and the young guys who are not perfect and who barely have minutes were not only playing their ass off and playing better than a lot of veterans that we have in previous seasons, but
Yeah.
also like contributing to the team, right? And that's when, as I remember like Urkel invited me to the spaces for the first time. That was like December 2023. I've been listening to this spaces since basically since 2020 2021 when I discovered Urkel. But he was the one who actually encouraged me to come to stage like right now and talk because I used to be like very very kind of like insecure of my accent, right?
Yeah.
And when I came up to that space, I was just like I guess like the Kaminga thing started there in that moment because like I have a conversation with Jim about why he always bash Kaminga, and when he does it, I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve criticism, but when the way he used to do it, it was with a lot of things, you know, outside of context, right? So I started to be known as the JK defender. And hear
Yeah.
me out, like we saw what he did as soon as he got minutes last year, right? He's an
Mm.
imperfect player. Like when it comes to like analyze or criticize him, I'll be the one saying like, oh, he has been very irregular on defense. He not is not like a good enough shooter yet. Like sometimes he have that brain farts and like he doesn't stay fully dialed in. He doesn't understand the nuances of the game yet. He's a crazy athlete, but he make mistakes, right? But I
But you know what
truly
it is though,
believe,
Pedrin?
yeah,
Right?
I,
Like, so as somebody that played a team sport at like a
yeah,
high level, and you're talking about like a sport where you have to communicate with other people and the game is moving fast.
mm-hmm,
Like you have to look at it from the standpoint of sure, the game is moving fast, all of this shit, right? But like he's a young player, and the biggest thing with young players is that the game just moves so fast, right? Like it's
yeah,
fast, right? For a lot of young guys. And I feel like once players get older, they control the tempo of the game and they don't let the tempo run them, right? Meaning
yeah,
like the game starts to slow down, right? And you
mm-hmm,
start to see when you start to see something over and over again, it becomes familiar and then you know what to do in different scenarios, right? So
yeah, and you
when
start
I
to know what
yeah,
to do in different scenarios and apply your own technical abilities or skills, you
exactly.
know?
So when I look at players like Steph and all of these vets, right? KD had the ball on the elbow, right?
Yeah,
He knows that the double team is going to come. You know what I'm saying? And right, like Steph, he knows where the double team is going to come from every single time, right? And no matter
yeah,
what angle you send it from him, he feels it.
yeah, he's
So
aware.
when that double comes, he knows to, or he sometimes he turns over the ball. They all do, right? But sometimes you can see when they're anticipating that double team coming in from whatever angle, right?
Yeah,
And they know how to make that extra pass, right? So that's pretty much what it comes down to half the time is like, does does the game slow down enough, right? Does
mm-hmm.
the game slow down enough for this player where he can make those reads and he can see the passes, he can see those driving lanes, he can see
He,
the them soft spots in the defense, right? So
he can
JK,
actually impact on winning.
yeah, so JK to me, he's like a guy that his game is going to be finding the soft spots in the defense, right? I don't think he'll ever be like some crazy three-point sniper. You know what I'm saying? But his game
Yeah,
is going to have to be passing out the double because he's a guy that's going to require a double at some like a legit double at some point in his career.
yeah,
Right? He had like
mm-hmm.
12 free throws tonight, right? So he's going to be that
Easy.
guy that picks the defense apart, feels the pressure, and then passes out of the pressure, right? So um, that's why they don't want to trade him. But at the same time, they understand like the deficiencies within his game, and
Exactly.
they're just holding on, holding on, holding on,
Mm-hmm.
praying that he just gets it right. But when you look at this, bro, like when somebody's in front of him, he tucks that ball and he's going to the rim. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
12, like it's how many free throws did he shoot last night?
Bro, last night 14
So he had 12 free
and made
throws
11.
tonight, and he had 14 last night. Like that's a different element of our offense, right? So when I see him out there and he's not playing, right? That's a problem, right? So, you know,
Exactly. And that's my biggest frustration with
yeah,
him because like I just feel like he never got like the fair chance or the first run to get consistent minutes. You
yeah.
know, even if you put him on the bench position, I don't mind him coming on the bench and build chemistry with like Potts and Moody and TJD. That group was the one who got us back into the Clipper game, got us back
I'm gonna
close to
be
like
honest
three
with
points,
you.
right?
If we are quote unquote experimenting, right? And
Yeah.
he's out there and we're losing games late, I can
Because
almost stomach it, right? But you see what I
yeah,
can't fucking stomach? What I can't
if
fucking
we lose.
stomach is that when we're in close game situations and he's on the bench and he's sitting down,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's what I can't stand when he's out there and you see three guards out there and then him or Wiggs or the both of them for that fucking matter is sitting on the bench, and then you have these stupid lineups out
And
there. That's
and
what I
Urkel,
can't stomach.
you see how I go to the bench X scenario because I'm already like defeated by Steve Kerr, like not thinking that like he's gonna put him as a starter when we literally just see it in the third and fourth quarter. Who was the lineup? Who was looking like playing good defense, and the offense was clanky at the end of the fourth quarter, but
Yeah.
overall we were playing very well. So all I'm trying to say with JK is like, bro, like obviously I love JK and I fight harder for him because like out of the young players, I feel like he is the most talented, the one that we have right now. But like at the end of the day, I just want him to be good because I want Steph to win number five. To
Listen, let
me,
me tell you something.
if
Tonight,
he leaves the team, it's okay. Like you know, you go and spread your wings, but at the end of the day, I want to showcase the people that like he can contribute to winning one, and he can play with his Steph, and he did
let
it
me
for
say this,
longer
right?
stretch today, and today
So
he got us the win.
So the minute you didn't trade him 2 years ago, you're kind of stuck, right?
Exactly,
Because
exactly.
because let me tell you what's going to happen. They can't trade him because they'll be trading away $8 million of salary for him, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the minute you trade away his $8 million and then he turns around and signs a offer sheet for, I don't know, 30, 35, maybe $40 million. Who knows what a team is going to pay him, right? But a guy that is scoring 34 back to back, that guy, there's no way he makes under $30 million,
I'm
right?
telling
So
you, the rest of the league is waiting for the Warriors to make the mistake to sell Kaminga at this price. At this price, I'm saying at eight.
yeah.
They literally just waiting because I feel like the other teams they can see what this guy can do in another team. I'm not saying he's the first option, but
Mhm.
he can for sure be a second option and contribute to winning on a winning team if he gets consistent minutes. Bro,
Yeah.
every time he got consistent minutes, bro, it's literally on the stats. The dude is averaging 27 and 5 and 3, sorry, 3 assists.
Yeah,
And his
so
game is just maturing. Kaminga used to play like this a year ago or two. He
yeah.
didn't. And now like he went from like being unplayable with Steph to closing minutes. And yes, he might have like brain farts like the other day when like Wiggs funneled in and he was his back turning to the ball. But these are like in game situations that you need to live and go through in order to improve. And now you will be able with that experience to have nights like tonight. So tonight is not even like a vindication. It's more so like,
Oh,
bro,
stop it. It's a
like
vindication.
he's he's not the
Because,
perfect player at all.
bro, the
I'll be
ball
the first.
bounces differently. Hey, the ball bounces differently last night. They could have won the game last night, right? So my
Yeah,
thing is this, like, I think
and
there
people
is a world.
and people say empty stats. He doesn't do this with the Steph. He doesn't do this with the real
No,
team.
but no. This shit comes down to, can you get to the line? Can you create for others? Can you play defense? Right? Can you
And
put pressure on the rim? Can you rotate the defense? Can you go to there's a and he does some of those things in a positive way. Now,
he did all those things tonight.
let me say this, right? About the team tonight. You see that four guard shit? Yo, Steve Kerr, that shit don't work, bro. You had three guards out there with Kevin Durant tonight. That does not work. It's super easy. Okay. So let me break this concept down. Think of the shot clock as real estate. Okay. Think of the shot clock as real estate. You get the ball, rebound the ball, there's 24 seconds left on the clock, right? Everyone is back on defense. Okay. Say you have a lineup of Draymond, Steph, Wiggins, Kaminga, and say Dennis, for instance, right? What you're going to do is that you're going to put Dennis and Steph all the way back, right? You put Draymond up top or Wiggins up top or whatever, right? One, two, three guys are big people, okay? What Kevin Durant is going to do, he's going to call his man up, right? And they're going to pre-switch. So all while this is going on, seconds are being left off of the clock, right? You see when it becomes three guards, it's way easier for Kevin Durant to call up a dude and fry him. You see when it's a tall person and he's taking a mid-range shot, and Kaminga, Wiggins, or Draymond is in his shot pocket, it's a much harder look. So tonight, I was pointing this out on playback. I was like, look at Kevin Durant. He had Draymond, then he switched from Draymond to Kaminga, and then they called up Steph. Steph hedged, and it ended up in a bad possession. It actually ended up in a turnover, right? And I pointed out that possession just to illustrate, yo, that is why you can't have three fucking guards on the court. I don't care how bad the offense is, but
Exactly.
that's literally the problem. You all these guards out there is stupid. So when people is calling, say, get Dennis, get Dennis, get Dennis. I don't have a problem with Dennis. I think Dennis is a fine player, but all that signals to me is just it's another guard that's out there. Okay. Right? Like, and Steve Kerr has this weird thing where he thinks that three, four, five guards should play together. If he could put Lindy Waters at center, he probably would. And this is a stupid shit that we have to get away from, right? So when I look at bro, I was going through a box score the other day, and I saw a bunch of centers on the court. There's a reason why I hate fucking centers. It's because of Steve Kerr. Because he had this thing back then where he think that he could throw a bunch of centers out there and it would just all work out. You know what I'm saying? This is the same logic, but with guards.
Yep. Like perfectly say, bro.
Right? So in a playoff series, this used to happen with Steph all the time. All the time this used to happen with Steph, right? They would call Steph up or try to call him up. They would pre-switch, pre-switch. Pre-switching is when somebody just takes the place of Steph, right? Next thing you know, Clay is switching with Steph, or Andre is pre-switching with Steph, and then LeBron has Andre Iguodala on him. Precious seconds are being eked out of the clock. Next thing you know, man's just taking a bad mid-range jumper, right? And he's not taking advantage of Steph, right? So when they finally get Steph up there, it's 5 seconds left on the clock, and Steph can really dig his heels down in defense and just contest, right? So at that point, it becomes a grenade. So you want as many of those possessions as humanly possible when you get into a playoff series. That's why I always say versatility, versatility, versatility. When you got a bunch of guards out there, it's silly, bro. Lindy Waters 14 minutes, Buddy Hield 15 minutes, Pajemski 11 minutes, right? So, bro, three guards played off of the bench tonight, right? Looney didn't play, but again, like stop trying to match up, bro. Like just try to go bigger because when the Wings were out there with Draymond and Stephen and Dennis, that was probably the best defensive lineup tonight, right? So, if you're gonna make a trade, let's get some big people in there. No more guards, bro, because Steve Kerr's a fucking maniac. You can't trust him. He's a psycho.
Hey, Irk, you know, you're pointing it out. You probably mentioned it already, so I'm sorry if I'm being repetitive. But there was no three guard lineups really in that second half. Unfortunately, Pods did get injured.
Do you know why? Because Lindy Waters was a minus 13 and Pods was a minus 17. Sometimes single game plus minus don't matter. But man, you could just look at the game and just tell where the negatives came from. You know what I'm
Dude,
saying?
dude, that fourth quarter when you had those four dudes, the two wings, Draymond, Steph, and then Dennis, you know,
Yeah.
Katie and Bill didn't score in 6 minutes.
Oh, bro.
Bro, that was reminiscent of like when Melton was healthy when we played against Dallas.
Yeah.
That's the formula. No, no more three guard lineups, man.
Right. So that's the first game of the home stretch. Let's get like five more, bro. Like let's start to win more of these games. That's the first close game that we've won in forever. The Suns scored 18 points in that third. Sorry, in that fourth quarter, 18 to 27. They we won the first quarter. They won the second quarter. They won the third quarter. And then we really dug our heels in on defense. There's like a 5 minute stretch where they didn't have a basket, right? And they were playing good defense. But bro, you kind of need big people in there, right?
Urkel, can I say
Also,
something real quick?
hold on.
Go
Also,
ahead.
did you see how much they were trapping KD and doing all of this stuff? Guess how many turnovers KD had tonight?
Six turnovers, six
Nope, he
big
had eight
fucking
turnovers. He has eight
eight.
turnovers tonight.
Damn,
Sheesh.
bro, it was six with a minute left on the clock. Did he have two more since that? What the fuck?
Right?
Anyway,
So I know Steph had five turnovers. sometimes I don't, bro. Like these hook passes, that shit where he's passing the ball to the weak side and somebody's just sitting on the pass. Yeah, and he one hands it like he's throwing a fucking discus. Like that's not gonna work, bro. Like that always gets picked off. There's never
No, we
another
have
time it
at
doesn't get
least
picked
one of
off.
the dudes a game, bro. That's just old man Steph
Yeah,
throwing one of the bitches, bro.
but
Gonna have one of those
but
games.
I am satisfied with the grit tonight. It was a back to back. Draymond didn't play. Steph didn't play, but Draymond had a solid game tonight.
Yeah.
16-8. Showed some fucking pride tonight. Maybe, just maybe, we don't play Steph and Draymond on back to backs. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we just live with the results and just don't play them on back to backs. I'm
Who
all for
knows?
that.
But I do have one thing to say, Erico, about
Yeah.
JK's play tonight. I'm glad that JK played well tonight when we won because I was hearing a lot of JK can't play with Steph. His game does not match Steph. And you know what's funny to me? That we kind of won this game because Jonathan Kaminga was clutch. He got a clutch stop, a clutch steal on KD. He had a good rebound. He made his free throws in the end. He made his layup. We won the game because Jonathan Kaminga kind of pulled through. But anyway, I'm just glad that he kind of proved him wrong because last night I was trying to say that Kaminga is hooping, and the reason why he's hooping is that he's getting time. He's not pulled because he made one fucking mistake on the basketball court. And people were trying to tell me that that was not the case. I'm just glad that he hooped tonight. He had 34, 9, 3, 1, and 1,
Hmm.
and he only had like one turnover. He played amazing defense on KD. KD did not shoot as well because KD's usually efficient. He was not efficient as could have been tonight, and that's about it. I mean, Draymond had a good game. Wiggins was good on defense. He didn't have a good offensive game,
Hey,
but he was
hey
good on
Glorious.
defense. So
Hey Glorious.
yeah,
What did you think of TJD again this game?
no, I love. I know, man. My love has come back for TJD. Ever since I was mad about him laying the ball up when he had a wide open dunk, you know what? I would take TJD getting stuffed at the rim when he goes for a dunk over him doing this stupid ass layup. Right? I don't know since the Minnesota game when he came out and he backed Rudy Gobert down to get like a little like hook shot. I he has played every game with energy. I'm pretty sure in his last four he's averaging like 13 and 8. Tonight he had, let me check just to make sure. He had 16 and 10 tonight. It wasn't on the best efficiency because since that Minnesota game he's been, I'm going to dunk literally everything. I don't give a fuck, and he doesn't make the extra pass, but he played and he hooped tonight, and he was good on defense too. So I'm looking forward to seeing. I'm not sure who said it. Somebody said that TJD was injured. There was like he had something with his back and he was playing, and that's why he went for all these layups. And since they've fixed his back or whatnot, he's kind of gone back to trying to dunk the ball. And if that's the case, I see it because he's playing with a whole different level of energy, and I hope he keeps it up.
Um.
That was my app. I'm done, bro.
Yeah. So JK, really impressive performance by him tonight. Steph, he had an okay game. He missed a lot of shots. Uh, plus 20 tonight. He, you know, when Steph is out there, and at some point he's gonna start to really, the offense is gonna open for. I feel like the offense is gonna open up, but you still see this thing where what he does, where Draymond got a bucket tonight, and Steph was running off of a screen. And like last night when people were bitching and they were like, "Oh my God, the team is done," blah 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 blah, and it was just bitching. I just got to roll my eyes, right? Steph Curry is not there, right? But you know who was there for the Clippers? James Harden was there. James Harden is one of the best offensive players ever. Don't get it twisted. That man, the shit that he did, like the last decade or so, it's unreal what he did, right? And that's the guy that you were playing against last night. Dribble, pass, shoot, shot creator guy, right? So he was out there last night and he was doing this thing. He is one of the best shot creators ever, right? Like, don't get it twisted about Harden. And then we didn't have a guy like that, right? JK did his thing, but he's not a guy that can set the table consistently like a James Harden. right? So we fought back last night. Steph wasn't there. That one was like whatever for me, right? Steph Curry is there tonight, runs off of a screen, Draymond springs for a layup, right? Like you talk about easy buckets, and I hear people talking about easy buckets and generating easy buckets. Those are the easy buckets, right? When Steph gives up himself and somebody gets a layup, that's easy, right? So um, that's what we need more of. We need more Steph Curry gravity inducing easy buckets, and we also need him to start hitting shots, right? But 413 from three, not the greatest, but he did have 6 assists, but like if we were to do like the thing where we're just counting like the gravity assists, right? And I know people are gonna poo-poo that, but if he runs and two people are jumping at him, somebody gets a layup, like that's easier than a layup than having the ball and collapsing the defense and throwing it out. Like that to me is more impressive, right? But get get an he'll never get a kudos in it from the box score because people only concentrate on points, rebounds, and assists, right? We live in the LeBron era, so that's the only shit that we care about. But Steph is constantly creating, constantly creating, constantly creating, and you know, the offense is not going to hum if he's not out there, right? So um, he'll get better. This is December. Uh, there will become a point where he's just going to ramp this shit up. But going forward, I would rather take the L than to watch him play a back to back. Like let's not do the back to back shit no more. Fuck the NBA and their back to backs. Let's just sit him on back to backs. And let's just do the same thing going forward. Since Steve Kerr wants to play everyone, let's not play him on back to backs. Simple. I'll take the L Lee.
Yeah, I feel you. And I actually trust J.K. To give the team a fighting chance to win. They won games or were in games without Steph this year, so
Yeah.
give him more time to like cook, and we get a preview of essentially when Steph is out if this franchise is going to be his, so he'll get more reps. I'm cool with that if that's the plan.
Yeah, so again, he's a young player. The game is going to slow down even more for him, right? But there's not a lot of great players in the league, man. Like, let's not get it twisted, bro. JK is a guy. He's big, he's physical, he's strong, he's athletic, and he has some skill in there, right? So, um let's stop doing this stupid shit where Pods and Lindy Waters is getting more starts and more minutes over him. Let's not do that stupid shit no more.
Yeah, play your dudes.
We really need to fucking cut that out,
Yeah, play your dudes.
right? There's no way he should be playing under 30 minutes in any game. I don't care how many mistakes he's gonna make or that he makes, right? You cannot tell me that you're gonna sit out here and insult me with this Pods shit and this Lindy Waters shit and Guy Santos. Like, let's stop that stupid shit because that's why we've dropped so many games. Because Steve Kerr thinks that his system can like let's stop that bullshit, man.
I put it in the chat, but it looks like the experimentation might be over. Kerr said he wants to keep this as the core of the Warriors' rotation, the starting
Yeah,
group, and
you know that rock meme, Lee, when he's stopping something. That's Steve Kerr in his system, bro. Like, come on, man.
yeah, he wants to play the five that we saw and include TJD starting. So
Basketball is about talent first and then the execution after. You know what I'm saying? Execution is really going to get you to the promised land, but it's not execution or the system over talent. It never is. And all of these coaches think that, oh, it's their system. Shut the fuck up. No, it's not.
they think they're in blue chips, like you said the other day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Butch and fucking Nick Nolte. Nick Nolte is saying like, Russ, let's run a motion offense. Nah, bro. Put the ball in talent's hand and let talent fucking decide, man.
Exactly.
System nonsense. Ugh, yuck. Insult me. Talent first and then execution or your system after. Like, point blank simple. When talent meets execution, that's how you get to where you need to get to. Michael Jordan was a GOAT because he was the most talented player and the smartest executing player, right? That's pretty much what it comes down to.
Hmm. We play Cleveland on Monday.
Jan, what's going on?
Oh no, I'm just happy for Kaminga. That's every time he plays at the three, he's always great. And when he's surrounded by defenders, he plays great defense because he knows that okay, even if I get beat, I have great defenders around me, so he gets more confident to play defense. But when you put him with pads or Buddy Hield or Lindsey Waters, of course he's not gonna play good because now he's pressured, he's jumping, biting the pump fake. So, but when he's around TJD or Draymond or Wiggins, and even shorter, he knows okay, I can play defense confidently. I don't need to jump on pump fakes. I can just move my feet, and then on offense when there is space, he's gonna attack and score. So he just needs more time and needs to play at the three. Don't put him in the four. He's not. That's not his role.
Yeah.
Put him at the three, and then on the offensive end, give him space. Play some pick and rolls. He's gonna be great at all times. 30 minutes. He's young. He has the legs. He's healthy. Play him 30, 35. If you want Steph to rest, you have Kaminga. He can score. Play him 35, 36 minutes.
Mhm.
Steph can play 30 if you want, 29. And then that's how you develop players. But if you don't play players that are talented, of course, you're going to have trouble. And Steve Kerr needs to stop that. We don't need tiny players anymore. We don't need that. And Cleveland, they're big. If you play the three guard lineup, we're going to lose. Definitely. So on
Wh-
Monday, we need to go big. Pause. We need to go big.
What a beautiful stage up here, man. We got Africans up here. We got the Jamaicans up here. We got
Right.
a guy from
Yes,
Houston.
sir. Yes,
Nice
sir.
melting pot. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Amazing. Amazing.
Beautiful.
Game
Yeah.
is dead. You see
Yo,
that? Beautiful, man.
what's going on?
Beautiful.
Game is dead. I'm
Beautiful.
from the Bay, bro. I'm from here, so I'm repping.
Yeah. Nobody in there from the Bay. Game is dead. I got you, bro.
That's what we need. We need.
Hey,
Hey,
hey.
I got a
If you're
question
so
real
mad,
quick.
hold on, hold on. If you're so mad about all of this shit, you know what you should do? Be
What's that?
aggressive and start your own thing, man. I promote starting your own thing, man. Please, I beg.
You think so?
Yeah, man. The beautiful part about this thing is that you meet people from all over. So
Right.
yeah.
Uh, I like what you do, so I'm gonna stick on coming up here and then talking. I don't think that's my thing to really start something. So I'll just
Yeah,
I just come here and there and share what I have. That's it.
man. And I appreciate that. Yo,
And I
Mad,
appreciate you.
Mad. How'd you feel about the game tonight, bro? JK,
I feel
34
good,
minutes
man.
tonight.
JK was good. I was just about to ask you, guess how much our other bench players scored tonight. Guess how much points?
So the bench and Jake,
Nah,
the
just the
bench,
bench.
the bench scored 37 points tonight. JK had 34 of those.
Okay then.
Enough said.
Yeah. Steve Kerr has
He was the entire bench. Steve Kerr is a madman, bro.
yeah.
Hey, Irv,
Hey, Buddy was yeah, go ahead.
59, 56. We're monitoring the situation.
Monitoring. Okay. All right. Monitoring the situation. They had a lot to say the other night. Yeah, man. Bro, we have to get back up. We got to get back into this mix, man. Um, we have 17 more losses, right? 17 more losses. before we're not eligible to win 50 games at least. My goal is to win 50 games this year. 50 games. I think we can do it. But we need to go on a little run. This, what we just did, has been embarrassing. And Steve Kerr, you should be fired for experimenting. You're not a scientist, bro. You're not a scientist. You should be fired, right? But luckily, like you are with a superstar that puts his pants on the same way every fucking day. He probably eats the same shit every day, and he's the most routine person on the planet, right? So you're lucky that you're with the most routine, because if you weren't, you probably would have been fucking gone like Mike Brown is.
Irk,
And you're probably more deserving to get fired more than Mike
Irk,
Brown, to be perfectly
Irk. Do
honest.
you know who Kip Thorne is?
Yeah.
You say Kerr is not the famous Caltech professor.
Yep.
Oh man,
Guzzle, what's going on?
another Bay Area legend.
I'm rewatching this fourth quarter. I'm rewatching this fourth quarter. This Kaminga masterpiece.
It's beautiful.
So you're one of the people where you're down with the young guys, right? Like you were a
I'm down
wise.
with I'm down with certain ones.
Which ones are
I
you
just
down with?
well, obviously the ones that are turning out for me, which was which was
Pots.
always why like Wiseman. Just I obviously the jury's out for me on that. I think
Yeah.
for most people. Um, but obviously I've been rolling with Kaminga and Jordan Poole since the beginning, especially once we watched Jordan Poole, like the ascension that he made, because this is what I look for, especially with young players. Do they work? Do they work? Like, are they practicing? Are they putting in extra practice? Like, we don't like. I know we've been seeing routinely like Jonathan
That's what I'm
Kaminga's
talking about,
like
Gasso.
summer, like we've seen his summer workouts all the time. I don't need to see that from Jonathan. I know he's working. You know why? Because the dude is in shape and he does do something with his game every summer. He tries to do
Hmm.
something.
Yes,
Like
one
he
thing
worked,
about
like
him, he
his left
works
hand used
hard.
to be a weakness, and now it's actually a strength for him, that left hand. And now he's like almost like to lay it off the glass as softly as he does with the left is kind of insane. So
Yeah.
I just been like, this team would be better. Like, I wish they would have just found the right kind of balance between the superstar that they had along with the young players that they had. Um,
You know what kills
and
me, Guzzle? Here's what kills me, right? Like across the league, I'm watching. So take Phoenix for example, right? Um, they have high aspirations. Bradley Beal, small guard. Tyus Jones, small guard, and then they have KD over there, right?
and they got Devin
Booker,
Booker too, right?
and they got Devin
Who's
Booker,
not
right?
a huge guard either. He's just a shooting guard. He's a shooting guard, 6'5".
So that team is one game below 500 right now, right? They have one of the. They're a second apron team, okay? They have a first option, and they have a second option, and they have a third option, right? How is that, option shit working out for them?
Well, the bad thing is that two of their options are guards. I guess they're not
Right?
wing. Like
So
only one's a wing.
so it's like sure, it would be nice to have another guy, but our guy had 34 points tonight. You know what I'm saying? We had a young guy that had 34 points tonight. And like sure, go get Jimmy Butler and have him braid Steph here on the bench. Like, yeah, like that's what I want to see, right? So I just don't want to trade away talent for old guys, right? Talent for old guys. Jimmy Butler's an old guy, bro. What are we doing? We have a wing. We have another wing. We have a wing. 3 of 12 tonight, 7 points. But he was out there and he was guarding his ass off, right? And then Kaminga, he took on the slack, right? Some games Wiggins is gonna shoot well, some games he's not. But sometimes you're just gonna get defense from him.
Mm.
All the time you're gonna get defense from him. Sometimes that's gonna happen, right?
Irk,
And then
Irk,
somebody else will just pick the slack up. Like,
another thing too, Irk. What people never consider, both of them know the system, bro. the adjustment period. You don't have to worry about that. We got dudes who are ingratiated within the system. They know how this operates. We got to take that into account.
Um,
Another score to monitor too. I'm sorry to
yeah.
cut you off. Portland up 87-69 third quarter against Dallas.
Uh, how's Clay playing tonight? Good old Clay.
3 for 10,
87 to
8 points.
69. Jeez, man.
Reggie Miller is the greatest shooter of all time, right?
Like, hey, come on. We
I
know
see
what he
you,
meant
man.
by that. We know what he meant by that. Come on now.
Do we?
Yes, Irk. Come on.
Do we?
Yes, we do.
What did he mean by that?
He was saying before. Come on, Irk. Irk, you're plugged in. Stop it. Stop acting. Stop acting brand new on this.
I'm not acting
We know,
brand new.
we knew that he was talking about like when he was young. That's the guy they looked up to. Even Steph looked up to him. Even Steph
Uh,
looked up to
okay.
Reggie.
All right.
You know, when you're a young player, I mean, it's not like he looks at Steph as being his peer. You have to understand that. That's his peer. That's the
Steph
guy
is a
that he shoots
guy
in. That's the guy that he
up
shoots against in
here.
practice every day. It's his peer, Urkel. It's his peer.
All right, man. Y'all got it, man. Y'all
Well,
got
I'm
it.
just saying that's how Clay views it, right? Clay views it
I'm
that
a
Steph
guy.
is his
I'm a
peer.
guy that normally assumes positive intent. You know what I'm saying? I'm that guy.
Is that your
Like,
brand? That's your brand.
bro, at work, they train you. They're like, don't get down on the mood elevator. Make sure you assume positive intent. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to assume positive intent. And at every turn, I'm not seeing positive intent. So, all right, cool. Let's go with
Well,
that.
because you're taking when he danced off the floor, right?
Among other things, but all right.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he's been a little flagrant. He's been a
Okay.
little flagrant. But I mean, for me, it's like he gave all those years to this team, his body to his team,
Yeah.
and and to beat like your ex team. If you've ever had a chance to do that, it's a thrilling experience,
All right.
and
Well, I
I don't think
hear.
he's turned his like he's gonna get his number retired. He's gonna get a statue. It's
Statue?
he's not doing anything to affect that.
Statue?
Come
Yeah.
on, he'll be at least part of a group statue.
A group statue.
Yeah, he'll like him like I think like he'll get one of those little Allen Iverson statues that are life size.
A group statue. Okay. How about we do a bobblehead head night, but do it on a bobblehead statue?
So the bobblehead be a statue, basically.
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
Bobblehead statue
we
night.
beat KD tonight. We beat KD
Yeah.
in the house that KD built.
Oracle,
He
look
was
at the
there with the
tweet.
shovel in
Look
the
at the
ground.
tweet on
He
the
was, bro. He was pointing all the way to Brooklyn.
Oracle. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Look at the tweet on the jumbotron. Like that was Clay clarifying the
I,
case.
bro, the minute you have to clarify and explain, you know, sure. All right. Assume positive intent, man. Assume positive intent. What's going on, Shadow?
I'm just here, one down.
One
What
down,
do you say?
man.
What do you say about Kaminga Shadow? What you always been saying?
Yeah,
Let
Shadow.
Africans be Africans, man.
That's what I wanted
See,
to
I
say.
know, I know a
Thank
lot of
you.
people got to delete tweets because they're bozos and they don't
Mm-hmm.
understand how good Kaminga was. But at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, it is what it is. We're figuring it out. Steve Kerr's at least in the second half, he made it right. If you saw the lineup that was on the floor, that was a lot better. So
Shadow. How was the defense
the
with that
defense was
lineup,
good, bro. Like
bro? It
I
was
already told
immaculate.
everybody, Kaminga's athletic. He's great on POA. So at the end of the day, there's like nobody's a perfect player, and I hate when we sit there and wins we're nitpicking and because everybody's frustrated or going at players and doing whatever. This is the grand scheme of things. We need Kaminga to be good. We need Steph to be good. We need Draymond to be good. We need Wiggins to be good if we have any chance of doing anything. Now, what I will say is sometimes you got to trust your eyes. I trust my eyes 12-3. We look like the best team. In the last 15 games, we look like the worst team. But I believe we're somewhere in between. And with some tweaks, we can get back to the 12-3 Golden State Warriors. This was a solid win. This was a great win. And I think going forward, if Steve makes the necessary adjustments and plays the wings together and has Steph moving with ball movement, the shit gonna take time because Dennis is new. There's probably gonna be another player coming walking through that door at trade deadline. So we gotta make adjustments, and it's gonna take time. But I personally believe what I'm seeing in the West with my eyes. If any of you Golden State Warrior fans, right, are afraid of OKC, Denver Nuggets, the Dallas Mavericks, there's a doctor that I know. His name is Dr. Samuel, and he does LASIK eye surgery. And I can refer you, say SB taught you, and you get a 30% discount code because your eyes are fucking broke. So at the end of the day, steady and forward. We're moving towards being better. So let's just go on to the next game and keep it moving.
Yes, sir. 66-65 halftime. Or
Anthony Davis is playing. Oh, no LeBron James tonight though. Why not?
Who's up right now? Sacramento.
Sacramento is up. Yeah.
Yeah, I seen them turning it around.
Jackie Christie is up by 1 point.
This guy said Jackie Christie. Are you losing your mind, bro?
Oh, she coaches a team, man.
Why you dissing Doug Christie's wife, man? I don't think she's a bully no more, man. Those days are done. That was the '90s.
bro, she had that man on the leash.
Yeah.
Like dead ass, dead ass, man.
He was on his knees on a leash, bro, in the
Hope
90s.
what's our next game?
Monday,
uh,
Cleveland.
Monday,
Who do we play?
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Okay, revenge game. This is
Yes,
gonna be a
sir.
good one. I feel
It
we're gonna
is.
win this one too.
Me too.
I
That's
strongly
gonna be
feel
the
it.
first 40-point game for Steph this season.
We
I'm
we
calling
Hey,
it.
we
Shadow,
yes, sir.
what impressed you? All right, I'll tell you what impressed me most about this game,
Mm-hmm.
and then I want you to tell me what impressed you the most.
Okay.
In the first half, we had Lindy Waters. Sorry, we had Buddy. We had Lindy Waters, Buddy, Pods,
Mm-hmm.
and Dennis on the court, right? Or
Well, one of the
one of those,
combinations of those.
right?
Basically three
One of those
guards. Three guards.
combinations,
Three
right?
guards. Three guards.
So, bro, Kevin Durant was just finding those small guards left and right.
Yeah.
And then I watched in the second half, Steve Kerr just completely flipped that. And, he just had the dudes out there, right?
Yeah.
I need him to fix up, right? And have the wings out there. Bro, we don't
Irk,
have
he
the type of
knows,
talent.
man. Irk, I'm telling you, he knows. D- Believe it. He knows. He knows. Didn't you see his
We
last
could,
comment that he said the other day? Um,
yeah.
it's kind of hard for us to be good when there's no consistency or continuity. He knows, bro.
We
He,
cannot sit there and continually playing these games with JK, bro. I'm
and
sick
and
and
and I'm
tired of
gonna
it.
be and I'm gonna be honest, bro. And this is just me personally. Like I told you, like what was I afraid of from the beginning of the season? I said the lineups and the continuity of lineups together. I said if Dennis comes to our team and he starts as a starter, just keep him there, right? But if I was to make any change, I do strongly believe Steph, Wiggins, JK, Draymond, Loon or TJD in the starting lineup, Dennis playing with the second unit, play Dennis 30 minutes, play him, stagger him in the minutes with Steph. The second Steph leaves the court, bring on Dennis. The second Draymond leaves the court, bring on Kyle. We do that. I strongly believe we could be one of the best teams. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I know that we have an advantage over everybody in the Western Conference, because in the first half of the season we had the hardest schedule in the Conference. From here on out, we have the easiest schedule. So what game was that today? Today was 30 or 31. Which one was that? 31, 32?
Hmm.
So we have 50 games left. Can we go 35 and 15?
Why not?
So that's going to be the telltale sign. And then a lot of people don't realize that we have two less games than everybody else. That's why we're way down at the bottom. Look at the loss column. How many losses does Memphis have? Doesn't Memphis have like 10 losses?
Yeah.
And aren't they like the second seed?
Hmm.
Shit's not that much. Even though we fucking went on a crazy skit, same way we could turn this bitch around. We could literally go 15-5 and be the fourth seed again. So I strongly believe. I think we're in a good position. As far as what impressed me tonight out of anything is Steve Kerr. His ability to look himself in the mirror and realize, you know what, I fucked up. I got to play the wings together. I The only thing he needed to do a little bit better was not stagger, but match the KD minutes.
Hey, SB,
But yo,
do you think Kerr playing two wings together was what you say all the time? Serendipity because Paz had an injury?
yeah, like Steve Kerr always bumps his way into success. Like it's always by accident. You know what I'm saying? Like Draymond being on the ball, his back was hurting. He left it in Arizona. He was gone for how many games? Luke Walton said, "You're going to be the point forward, Draymond. You're going to initiate offense." Steve Kerr comes back and says, "You know what? Let's rock with it," and they did for a straight decade. Now we have Dennis as a playmaker, and on top of it, this is Dennis coming to a new team, not knowing the spacing, not running the stuff that he's necessarily like used to. Another thing too is anybody doesn't realize we're running five out again. So we're back to the Stary Stotts offense. How many split actions you seen tonight?
Not many.
How many motions and Steph running around 55 screens did you see tonight?
Not a
Not a
lot.
lot.
Okay, so we're back to the Stary Stotts offense and we're seeing that it's working. You know what I'm saying? Despite um it not being a perfect game on all fronts, but what was there and what was present was the defense. So I'm gonna go back to that. Let's lean on defense. Um, let's get Dennis more into some high ball screens and high pick and rolls. Draymond was playing pick and rolls with TJD. Dennis was doing the same. Steph was trying to do the same. JK was going downhill. And that's how we got to do it. You know what I'm saying? We got to like turn teams over. Like hella stops was made today, but like I don't know how many steals we had, but I could pretty much tell it was a lot. The turnovers were there, but it wasn't crazy like regular. Like it wasn't, I don't think it was anywhere close to 20, right? So
11 turnovers is fine.
bro, 11 turnovers is fucking fabulous, bro. If we
Yeah.
average 11 turnovers, teams in the NBA are in trouble. And it was a duo today. At the end of the day, Devin Booker wasn't there, but like there's games where fucking Steph and Draymond weren't there. Like it is what it is. Like you got to play with who's in front of you. And I know it's all doom and gloom, but if Steve Kerr's playing the proper lineups, I believe we're a top four seed in the Western Conference.
Shadow, you know what was getting under my skin, bro? Like losing all of these games. And we've lost some close games and we've blown some leads and all of
No, no,
that,
no, no,
right?
no. I'll tell you exactly, Urkel. We have the most clutch games in the NBA. We're at 20, and 15 of those 20s are 26 points or less.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, some tweaks, but at the end of the day, I appreciate you, unlike other people. You know what I mean? Trade machine Terry. You could be disappointed, but you still got to believe in your team. You still got to believe in Steph. You know what I mean? There's nothing good coming out of crying, bro. Like at the end of the day, we stand up and piss. We don't sit down and piss. So at the end of the day, everybody up here is a man. And shout out to the females. And I hate to say it, but most of the females in our fan base got more balls than a lot of these niggas out here, bro. Shit's ridiculous. People are crying on the timeline and bawling their eyes out like some gal. Like, what are we doing here? At the end of the day, we know what's wrong. We've seen our team play good, right? We've seen our team play bad. Which one is it? Who do we decide to be? It's obviously Jekyll and Hyde, but I could look and see that we have 20 clutch games. We're in it. We've only had probably like at best three blowouts or two blowouts all season. We're competing, and at the end of the day, with despite all the injuries, despite not playing back to backs, despite Steph Draymond missing time, Steph I think missed like 5 games. Wiggins missed like three games. Draymond missed like 2 or 3 games. So at the end of the day, it's not perfect. Dennis is just coming here and getting acclimated. I strongly believe from here on out we could win 70% of our games, and that's my goal.
Every night I watch one of these games, I'm watching us win the possession battle, right? And I'm watching us play defense, and then, you know, then I'm watching just, out there playing an 8-man, 9-man rotation. And we have like these lulls in this game where you just have just the wrong guys out there. And then next thing you know, Steph is sitting for 9 straight. Those are the things that were happening during the stretch, right? But I saw that they were still playing defense. Defense was choppy some nights. There was a 3-game stretch where the defense was crazy, right? Um, but throughout all of that, I'm watching us win the possession battle every single night. I think the way basketball is played now, it's super important that you shoot more shots than the other team, and even though we're a high turnover team, for the most part this year, I'm watching us do that. I feel like there's going to be a point where we're going to get all of this together. And it's actually going to start to result in wins. There is no way that we start off 12-3 and then we just revert. Like that wasn't luck, bro. Like I know what the fuck I was watching. And then I know what was I was watching after the fact. We lost 2 games during that point where we were up by 20. And then Steve Kerr is like goes mad scientist. Matter of fact, that happened a couple of times where we blew leads. And you see that big lead, and it happened this year, it happened last year. And like you should never blow leads, but when I've watched Steve Kerr do that plenty of times, and he starts with the feelings manager shit, right? So, cut some of that out. Hopefully we can go on a run at some point. If we gotta rest Steph, we just rest Steph and then lean on the youngins, right? What's Pods' injury right now? What's his status? Does anyone know?
It's a abductor strain.
Abductor strain. Oh shit. Okay. That's never
Yeah,
good.
that's just the worst. That's just like 2 games, 3 games.
Hmm. Sometimes it can be 2 or 3 weeks.
Man pulled his ass, dog. Shit crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not a yeah, I used to get that injury all the time. It's not.
Yeah, connects are growing, all kind of shit. Shit's wild.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Yeah. Hopefully it's not too serious.
hopefully it's not too serious, man.
Yeah, because we need dudes
Where's
we
GP
need
two?
dudes like Pods, man.
Where's GP2?
GP2, he has a calf strain, I believe.
Hopefully you can get over that.
Yeah.
But we got a big one
Look at
against Cleveland, bro. Like so, let's just see. Let's just see what can happen. At the end of the day, like I hope people learned from this, man. Like shit looks choppy. You know what I mean? At the beginning of the season, Kaminga was in the starting lineup. People were talking about he can't play with Steph. Kaminga's
mhm.
not a good basketball player. He's not smart. He doesn't have high IQ. Man, that man is the athlete and fucking athlete, bro. And then there's a reason why 1% of the world owns 97% of the world's wealth, and there's only 1% of people who play college or high level basketball go on to make it in the NBA. Bro, the shit is really hard, and he's the best of the 1%. He's
Yeah.
very good, but at the end of the day, he's 22 years old, and there's a maturation process, and there's nurturing, and there's a, like, we love Steph. You know what?